Everybody's going now, guys. TalkNorwichCity here, back for another episode of the TNC Podcast, episode 5.
Yes.
On YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Chris, another week.
Yep.
No guests this week.
No.
We haven't got anyone hardened up, about to run in, have we? Cut the hair.
Ourselves. Yeah, no surprises today.
No, but it's been a good couple of weeks, and it's quite nice now just to look back at what's been a fairly busy few weeks in terms of the podcast and also Norwich City, and just have a reflection, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think in all honesty, the international break has come at quite a good time for Norwich City, with all of the circus around the new manager, the structure of the club, the fans, just everyone's attitude, the players. You know, obviously Tim Close coming out and making a song and dance about moving, and all those little things that are going to happen now. It has come at quite a nice time, and obviously, I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions about Alan Irvine. Will he remain as manager? Possibly he might now.
Yeah, I mean, Rob was on last week, of course, Joe the week before. Both had kind of similar opinions, really, in terms of the way they want to see the club move forward. Since both of them podcasts, nothing really has happened. I mean, we've seen Stuart Webber possibly appointed. I mean, nothing official has happened from either club. It's going to happen. Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Michael Bailey, I think he broke it, didn't he, on the EDP?
Yeah.
So basically, if you don't know, Stuart Webber is the basically, like, what are we calling the role? Sport director.
We're going to call Stuart Webber the head honcho at Huddersfield.
No, so what is the official
sporting director?
Sporting director. So he was basically I thought he was head of sport or something. So he was the head of sporting director
Come on, Jack,
at Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And basically we've brought him in to Norwich to do the same job.
It's probably going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll probably be announced this week.
So that's positive, isn't it?
It's very positive, Jack. And I think to have someone like Stuart Webber come in, he's young, he's got ambition, but by the same token, he's almost got that bit of flair about him where he's not afraid to take risks. You can see that with his previous clubs, Huddersfield and Wolves, where he's taking gambles, and quite clearly it's paid off. I mean, look at Huddersfield. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose the pleasing thing for me is, I know it hasn't been announced yet, but Stuart Webber seems the man who wants to try and push clubs forward rather than... It doesn't seem a yes man, put it that way.
No, to be fair, I don't think anyone is a yes man, really. I don't think they are. I think everyone likes to put their stamp on things. Why it's quite nice that we've got a young guy is he's got kind of the new way of football about him. A lot of kind of prehistoric dinosaurs are still in the game, still churning out the same crap every week. And, Norwich City are past that now, Jack. We need to change. The structure has happened. It's a good thing. Anyone that thinks the structure is a bad thing needs to take a good look at themselves, because...
I mean, I suppose there will be natural reservations because it is something new, and people sometimes don't know how to... And there's no proof to say that this is going to work, and that's the risk you take, isn't it? I mean, we've seen plenty of risks happen before that we thought, that's going to really work.
Have we, though?
I mean, not in terms of this kind of move, but risks as in maybe transfers or things like that. For example, Ricky Van Wolfswinkel thought he was going to take us into Europe. Okay. That didn't work.
That is the only risk this club has ever taken. And, big risk.
Yeah,
Think of another big risk.
I mean, you look at last season, I suppose some of the transfers we made, they were big risks. Stephen Naismith, Tim Close. Big money for us, and they were risks to try and keep us in the Premier League.
Okay.
I mean, this is a completely different risk, and I think one that will eventually pay off. I'm not sure how long it's going to take us, or how long it's going to take to kind of come through. And because big changes are happening, if you see this kind of change, any business, it would put it in... It would disrupt it for a little while, wouldn't it?
Yeah, when someone new comes in the top of a business, you've got to change your whole company culture because they want to do what they want to do, and Norwich City are going to have to go through that.
And not just at the top, we're looking at a whole player rehaul as well. So it's basically all of your staff, the important
clubs
staff,
run everything. Yeah,
who's going to be changing?
What's the priority? Where are we going? What's good? What's bad? How are we going to play football? There's all sorts of things that will be stamped on by Stuart. So. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, that's an exciting... By the way, if there's any Huddersfield fans out there who know more about Stuart Webber, that watch the videos, by the way, Huddersfield, did you see what they've done with the season tickets?
Are they one of these clubs that actually reward their fans?
Yeah, one of them. One of them good ones. One of the few.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. I think it was 150 quid for an adult season ticket, which is mental. I think under 21s was like 79 quid, so that's like 5 times less than our prices.
But they know that Norwich fans will renew their season tickets. We are not known as the best supporters in the land for no reason.
Yeah, the thing with Norwich is we are the only professional club in Norfolk. So our catchment area...
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but what I mean is that there's no other good games to go to.
It's kind of like a day out, isn't it? And I think,
for some fans, yeah.
I think for a lot of fans, I think you'd be surprised. I mean, I don't want to be judgmental, but there's 3 stands at the football club that don't sing Jack.
Yeah.
I think you can't tell me that most of those people in those stands that aren't at the football for a day out.
Yeah, I don't think that... Yeah, I agree that some fans maybe do go for a day out, but I think the atmosphere issue is a whole nother debate, which could be a whole podcast.
Agreed. I do agree.
Let's talk about that now, actually, atmosphere.
Go on then.
I mean, I've had season tickets in the Barclay, upper and lower now, and also the N&P upper, over my 8 years or whatever of having a season ticket, and the atmospheres have been very different. We are now in the lower Barclay, which is historically known for the best atmosphere in the ground, alongside the Snake Pit. This season, though, it's been dreadful, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't think of a game this season
where it's
been rocking.
Yeah.
Even Ipswich wasn't rocking.
Yeah.
It was loud at times. I mean, we've got a question later on. I've seen one of your Twitter questions basically asking us what's been your favourite home and away game this season.
But you can't really highlight one, can
I mean,
you?
last season you look back at, and I can pick out a few. I know we went down.
That was nice. Anyway,
we'll get to that. I know we went down, but for me, my favourite games are always the one with the best atmospheres. They're the one that stick out to me, not the way we played football or...
The atmosphere has got worse and worse with each season that I've supported the football club.
Why is that?
I don't know, Jack. I think it's a mixture of what's happening on the pitch, but also the lack of kind of incentives for the fans, and again, things like letting the fans bring in flags, letting the fans perhaps stand up. Do you know what I mean? Those basic things that make us feel as one. Do you know what I mean?
You've been to America, haven't you? And I have. Did you go to a football match out there?
No. I'm going this year though.
Okay, so I went to
Yankees.
Okay, I went to the Orlando game.
Wasn't it? Sorry.
Yeah. Are you going to a football match?
Yeah, New York. What was it called? New York.
Red Bulls.
Chicago. No.
Chicago Fire.
No. Hang on, this is embarrassing.
Where are you going? New York.
New York. And I'm going to go see. What's the one with Kaká and Pirlo? Come on. Yeah, New York City.
Right.
And then what's the other one? The one that Bradley Wright Phillips plays for.
Yeah, Red Bulls.
Yeah.
No, it's not Red Bulls.
It is. It's New York Red Bulls. Yeah.
So I went to Orlando City. I think it was Orlando City.
Yeah, and they've got a flair section.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
The football was dire. They had Kaká, he was like, how old was he then? 35. He was well past it, but he was by far the best player. Who else did they have? They had
in the Zimmer frame now, isn't he?
Oh, who was the guy who used to play in the Premier League for like Stoke? And he was what was his name? I'm not even sure if he played for Stoke. It wasn't Jamie O'Hara.
We're not really awake for this episode, are we, Jack?
No, basically, Orlando City, it was amazing, the atmosphere. They had flares, they had chanting, but Americans do it a bit different. I've seen a lot of tweets this year of, chant sheets that they print out for the fans and stuff, which is a bit... But I think there's certain things from America that we can take, and Germany and European countries, that they just do it right. They just do it right. And if we have a bit of flexibility when it comes to health and safety laws, and it's not even like laws, it's just common sense, just flexible.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm not saying we need 4 stands of pyrotechnics, because I understand why that rule is there.
And Rob Butler would say this if he was here. At the end of the day, the atmosphere would be better if we were winning football matches.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, under Lambert,
but you can't rely on the football, because...
But even under when we got promoted, I'm not sure if you were supporting.
No, I didn't go.
When we got promoted under Worthington, the atmosphere then was great. It was really good. That was the season that probably sparked my love affair for Norwich City with Darren Huckabee, Adam Drury, and there was. The yellow pages are being thrown in the air,
bring the yellow pages back.
Yeah, definitely those little things, and maybe what Arsenal do when they score, get the flags up, that kind of thing to try and pump the fans up. But this has all got to come from the top.
Yeah,
everyone has been shouting about this for a while. A lot of the the Norwich City voices, so to speak, on Twitter have been calling for it for absolutely ages. The club have got to act next season.
Because I know the Barclay End Project for a couple of seasons were doing fantastic work, especially at the under-21 games. I know the club did like what was going on, but there was a few issues that basically stopped them from getting tickets in bulk sections.
A few issues being Dave McNally?
No, I wouldn't blame it all on McNally.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't blame it all on that.
I think he had a big part to play in that.
I don't think it was. It might have even been after McNally. No, McNally was still there.
Yeah.
There was issues that happened that basically
Why can't we have the Barclay Project with the flags and everyone, a singing section, Barclay, bar the away fans? It's perfect.
Yeah. And
it's crying out
and there would be... I think another thing that... I mean, that would be great. And I know the Barclay Project were trying to get people to give them yellow pages, and they were basically shredding them up. And it did at the... I'm not sure if you saw it. It was because they're at the back in the evening, aren't they? And they basically chucked a load of ticker tape up, and it was brilliant. It looked really good. But we're going to need more things like that. We're going to need flags. We're going to need the singing sections. I just don't know.
But Norwich fans don't actually feel like doing this stuff at the moment because we're playing awful.
Yeah.
So until the performances on the pitch change,
the thing is though, I've been to a lot of lower league games, Cambridge, Peterborough, places like that, and it's still been rocking even when they're 3-0 down because they've got standing terrace. I know we're not going to introduce a standing terrace, but if we could introduce a section, well, it's possible, isn't it? Safe standing. It's just there's so many stupid laws you've got to get through and everything like that. Anyway, wasn't expecting to talk about the atmosphere. What food have we got today?
Food. We've got some chocolate still from last week.
Yeah. That was nice chocolate, actually.
I've got some sweets from the cinema. The classic kind of Candy King.
What film did you see? Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you see?
I saw Beauty and the Beast.
No! Chris! Amy has been having a go all week because I've refused to go and see Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, but...
Are you a Harry Potter fan?
Well, I look like Harry Potter, don't I? So,
Are you a fan?
Yeah.
Do you like Emma Watson?
Yeah.
So you would have liked... Was Beauty and the Beast actually good?
Please
say it was rubbish, because I know Amy will be watching this, and she went to see it today actually without me, which I'm very glad about.
The actual Beast was quite beastly, very much. The kind of
he's been hitting the weights.
Mitchell Dykes was effectively the Beast, and it was kind of quite disappointing when he turned into a prince at the end. It was kind of like revealing Alex Neil or something, it was a bit... okay, thanks.
But you got the pick and mix.
Anyway, so pick and mix. We've got the classics in here. We've got some sour watermelons.
Yeah, I just had bananas. That was nice, actually.
We've got some chocolate mice, of course.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, just took the last one.
No!
And, as well as the mic being balanced on a banana, this is classic TNC. We've also got in the Flora tub...
Don't say. Guess what's in the Flora tub. I'm going to put a little thing here where you can vote.
Okay.
You've got a few options.
I like that.
And we will reveal what is in the Flora tub in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
But vote now. See that? I'm doing the YouTube thing.
Honestly, you will not. Can I give a little clue?
Well, I'm gonna put 3 different things of what it could be in here.
It's wacky. It's a wacky one.
I don't know. Is it wacky? It's a classic pub accompaniment.
What pubs do you go to? Anyway, let's stop talking about what's in there.
What else has been going on? It's been the international break, hasn't it? And
I am now more and more inclined to letting Alan Irvine, Gizit Irvine, for the rest of the season.
I thought we were talking about the international break.
No, I'm bored of it. Well, why are we talking? Let's not talk about the international
Things
break.
happen. Jacob Murphy got into the under-21 club.
No.
And I know you love Jacob Murphy.
Jacob Murphy, ladies and gentlemen, again proving why he is been fantastic for us this season. He deserves to get player of the season. He deserves to get player of the season. And how great would it be for a youngster of his calibre, up and coming, give him some credit that he deserves. Did a great job for England, and I'm just buzzing that he's on our books.
Now, I've just thought about something here. I don't want to talk my mouth open.
Yeah.
It's very rude. We were talking last week with Rob about who should win player of the season. You said Jacob Murphy. I think Rob agreed with you, and I kind of agreed with you
Jerome
as well.
is up there as well on House.
But someone commented last week, I think it was Elliot Waterfield. So Elliot, massive thanks for the support on the podcast, mate. He said, do agree with you to some extent, but Would you not give the player of the season to Wes because he's never won it and it's probably his last chance of winning it?
That bores me, I'm sorry.
Does it?
Yeah, it bores me.
I think there's very valid reason there.
No, I kind of get it. It's very kind of gesture. It's like a gesture, isn't it? But at the end of the day...
It's almost a gesture to Jacob Murphy, though. Because he hasn't...
How dare you say that?
He hasn't been the best player this season.
That's wrong.
No, he hasn't been the best player this season.
He's scored 10 goals. He's been influential. He's been our main creative output.
No.
You are wrong.
Wes Hoolahan has been a more influential player.
We haven't got Rob Butler to Spurs out this week.
Wes Hoolahan has been a more influential player than Jacob Murphy this season. If you want to give a player of the season trophy based on a gesture, for me, it's got to go to Wes.
But it's not about a gesture, is it?
Well, that's why you're giving it to Jacob Murphy.
Did I just say I'm giving it for a gesture?
Pretty much.
Did I? Okay, right.
And you did last week.
Okay.
You don't genuinely believe...
No, right. Wes is going to get a testimonial, right? And Wes has been the best player in the top 3 since I've supported, Norwich City. And unfortunately for Wes, in his best seasons for the club, Grant Holt was smashing it. Now, in those seasons, he probably should have got it. There was also a season where Seb Basson got it, by the way.
How did that even happen, by the way?
No, I know what happened, because Chris Hughton didn't play Wes, did he? And that's why Seb Basson got it.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look at the previous winners of the Barry Butler Memorial Trophy, apart from Johnny Howson, they've all buggered off. Lee Croft, buggered off.
Holty.
Nah, go on. But do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Dion won it, didn't he?
I kind of get I get what Elliot's saying, but I don't think it's right that Wes gets it.
Okay, so you still genuinely believe that Jacob Murphy's been the best
100%
player this season? Let me know in the comments what you think of that comment. But Jacob did get into the under 21s, wasn't it? England under 21s, which is brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
And also internationally, Ross Martin and Stephen Naismith involved with Scotland. I know you've got some Scottish links with the family, haven't you?
Yeah, aye.
Do you like watching?
A wee bit of us. They're awful. They're awful.
Chris Martin scored, and he's from bloody Beccles.
And when we went, it's funny because they're all English, aren't they? Well, a lot of them are English. When we went to see them at Wembley, Jack, and I was thinking, Snoddy was playing. I was thinking, we're definitely going to concede. The Scots want revenge. And they just didn't turn up. They were in absolute shambles.
I love Robert Snodgrass.
By the way, I've just got to change the subject on the note of Russell Martin and just other things. Have to mention Peter Oldfield.
Yeah.
Peter Oldfield, if you've not seen already, sadly passed away last week.
Explain to people who
Peter Oldfield.
Because I wasn't lucky enough to know him. So
yeah, I mean, first of all, he was just known as a very, very nice guy, and he was in charge of effectively when the player, when the man of the match came off the pitch, he would be there with the guests and pass the champagne over, etc., etc., and he would guide the player from the changing room up to the gun club. He'd walk him through the gun club. And
parade him.
He would look at basically he was in charge of looking after them pretty much. He was a host, and he did a whole host of other things for the football club. He was yellow and green through and through, and he impacted a lot of people at the football club. And you might have seen my tweet, but one of my first memories of the football was turning up at the gun club, and I'd smile as soon as I saw him, because as soon as you saw him, he has kind of...
There's certain people like that, isn't there?
He had I think some people called him the Silver Surfer, grey hair, a bit orange from his holiday, and always a cracking smile on him. And you'd see him poking through like, right, is everything ready? The mics will be ready. Yeah. And it was like an excitement thing. And as a kid, he would make sure all the kids get all the autographs and the photos, and no one would be missed out.
Yeah.
He had time for everyone, and it's really important to say, big respect to Peter Oldfield. What a guy!
It is unbelievable to see the effect that people have, because I wasn't too aware of Peter until you sort of tweeted, and I knew you talked about him before, but I saw a lot of the ex-players sort of saying like when's his funeral and stuff. Leon McKenzie seemed really cut up about it. So
basically, all of the people that got man of the match the most became really good friends of him, and it will have affected a lot of the previous players. My family are family friends with theirs, etc. And what I love about this football club, and it just highlights why I love this football club, is that everyone comes together and celebrates something really important. So, for Peter, we've got to win the next game.
Yeah, so basically our thoughts go out to Peter's friends and family and Peter as well, who had a big effect on this club. And I think, like you say, it does make...
family element. He really did. It's not like he calmed things down. He just had a way about him. Win, lose or draw, positivity. And actually had a big influence in the way I am about the football club.
Yeah, and I suppose with kind of the younger fans coming through, I mean, a lot of the TNC fan or watchers are fairly young. I mean, the people who sort of come up to us for photos and to say hello are normally like...
To you.
Well, you as well. Like,
yeah, they're young.
Are young, and I suppose they've never seen the League One days and the Championship days, and they're the kind of seasons that almost sculpt the club like us, aren't they? And they've come in and seen the Premier League, that sort of 5-year period.
That's what gives us the patience, and that's what always... That's the gratitude that I always think about. I always think back to the 7-1 loss to Colchester in League One. I always think back to the 6-0 defeat in the Premier League to Fulham when we got relegated. And I look at these little kind of 1-0 losses here and there, and I think, you know what? You've not really seen anything.
It's almost, Peter and other things like that. A lot of people at the club are absolutely brilliant, and it makes you realise you don't support this football club for results. You're never going to be too satisfied with the season of results. It's almost...
But that's why it means so much more. It means so much more because of that exact reason. Respect to Peter and his family.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get into the Twitter questions?
Let's go. I think Twitter questions.
There hasn't really been... Let's look back at the last week. We've had the international football, Stuart Webber kind of announced.
Yeah.
That's about it, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a fairly quiet week. So let's go on to Twitter. As always, I tweeted out for your questions. We also tweeted out. Let's say what's in the Flora tub before we get in. So I tweeted out what is in the Flora tub. A few people got back to us. West Ham Fan TV, our good friends, but I can't believe it's not butter.
Ooh.
So kind of nice there. Obviously, Flora's little hashtag.
I like West Ham. By the way, I like West Ham Fan TV. They're good guys,
they're top
aren't they?
guys. West Ham.
They
Fan
really
TV.
are.
They really are.
They're struggling this season, by the way.
Yes, it's been a tough season for them.
Anyway.
On and off the pitch.
Anyway.
Anita said, is it a new head coach in there? No, I don't think we'd be able to fit anyone in there except for Wes.
Yeah.
Robert Fenn saying Norwich's promotion chances. No, they are nowhere to
Open it quickly.
Mark Townsend, another pointless signing. George Wilson, boiled eggs.
No.
You love a boiled egg.
I do love a boiled egg, but that's an educated guess there.
Yeah, that is. And finally, Curtis Cole London said Clover. No. We are all Flora through and through. And finally, the man who probably does know what's in here, John Killett, said, maybe olives.
These are supplied by @CheesyGeezer on Twitter. Massive thanks, of course. By the way, that's worth a shout, actually. If you ever want to send us in anything just to, feature, we've got Dealer's Cookbook there. Olives. From the Cheesy Geezer.
Now, what olive man are you?
So good.
Green or black olives?
It's all about green olives. The best olives are garlic stuffed as well.
Yeah, or bad breath in the morning after some of them. Garlic stuffed olives.
Yeah, but once you've got a girlfriend, it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to try and keep them happy though, Chris.
Says you, turning down Beauty and the Beast. We probably should stop talking about girlfriends on a football podcast.
And olives.
Yeah. Oh, they're so good though, aren't they? Salty.
Yeah, very salty.
Kind of like...
Stay hydrated after this.
Again, I'm going to, put a football analogy.
By the way, I say this every week, but I'm ever so sorry to the people who listen to this on iTunes and not watch it, because they don't see the set, they don't see the food, and 90% of this podcast is all about food. Katie Lee also, she said berries of some sort. I suppose they're the same size as a berry, but not a berry. I don't know.
Same size as something.
Olives. Anyway, by the way, there's no feta cheese in there.
No, exclusively olives. I've got another tub in there as well.
I'm a big fan of the feta cheese with olives, I must admit.
Cheesy Geezer. What a boy.
What a boy. Right, let's go to the Twitter questions and let's stop talking about olives, although they are very nice.
Did we just spend 5 minutes talking about olives?
Yeah, pretty much.
Goodness me.
Oh, but also, if you voted olives, well done. People voted, remember, on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
Congratulations.
We will send you through an olive in the post. Maybe. Daniel DeFalco, always tweeting us, so big thanks, Daniel. I think he's from America,
That
actually,
is
Daniel.
a wicked name.
Yeah, Daniel DeFalco.
I want his name.
I think he's from America.
Daniel DeFalco.
Daniel DeFalco. We've just offended Daniel. Would you take Irvine until the end of the season? I think we've answered this before, but let's answer it again. But you said no last week.
Yeah, no, I've changed my mind.
Why?
It's okay, I can change my mind. I'm a football fan.
You are. We're all fickle here.
No, I just...
Olives and chocolate.
I don't want to jump in. It is in that period where it's too soon to recruit the right manager to take us forward, and we need the sporting director in. So therefore, Alan Irvine for at least another 3 or 4 games would be appropriate. Next question.
Canary Scots, who we've probably offended with our talking of the Scottish national team, but they'll probably agree.
Well, my family's from Scotland, and I like Scottish people. Friendly, by the way. Scottish people are the friendliest people on earth. Yeah. You go to Scotland and you walk anywhere and everyone says hi to you.
I love that. I love it when you go somewhere and everyone says hi.
Yeah, a lot of English people are like, they
even
just
in Norwich,
head down, like not wanting to talk to you. Scottish people
playing the bagpipes, throwing haggis about.
Sorry, Canary Scots. I'm sorry.
No, I'm only joking. Haggis, by the way, I love haggis.
I love a bit of haggis.
Right. Players you'd potentially like to see sign in the summer, and if no, specific player positions we need.
Yeah, I mean, positions is more important. Defence, as Rob highlighted last week, you could easily sign 5 or 6 defenders.
Yeah, yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And still, going forwards, you look at that and you think, have we got enough firepower in there?
Yeah.
I know we've got Nelson Oliveira. Cameron Jerome's still going to be going strong in the Championship next season. He'll be very handy. But we need something else. I do want to give Carlton Morris a chance, though, so I'm kind of holding on to that. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but it's mega important.
Yeah, I think for me...
Our midfield is fine. We've absolutely nailed the midfield. Apart from... Actually, no. I've changed my mind just in a few seconds then.
Yeah.
Tete has slowed up this season.
Yeah.
And I hate that because he was one of my favourite players. He's
He
such
can still
a nice
be your
guy.
favourite player.
He's not my favourite player anymore because he's just
Jacob
not
Murphy is.
very good. Don't know. We need a new CDM.
Okay, so
Dorrans
let's
would
go
be
from the
nice.
back. Goalkeepers. Do we need a new goalkeeper?
Yes.
Get rid of McGovern and Ruddy, or keep one of them?
Well, I tell you why. If I was Rudd, there's no way I'd stay at this football club unless I was told I was getting first team football next season.
Okay.
He's been completely disrespected. Awful.
For me, then, I'd get rid of all of them. Don't think Rudd's good enough. For me.
In the Championship, he could cut the mustard. In my opinion, I've always been battered for this.
So could Ruddy, though.
But you know what? When Rob was saying about Ryan Bennett, I have the same thing for Declan Rudd. I do think he can do it. Anyway, that's my opinion. Ruddy. Let's talk about Ruddy. I still think he's a good Championship goalkeeper.
Yeah, so do I.
But what I would question is, does he want to be here? Because he did show signs of the fact that he wanted to leave.
Yeah.
You know, he's got family here and everything. That's great. I don't think McGovern's big enough.
No.
I don't like saying players aren't big enough because obviously, like, Wes has been absolutely dreamy for Norwich City.
Yeah. It's very different outfield players.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't think McGovern's.
I would say if let's start.
We need to sign a goalkeeper.
Yeah, we need and get rid of all. I'd keep Ruddy as backup, but I'd get rid of all McGovern and Rudd for me. Defence.
I'd like Declan Rudd to stay.
Yeah, but you're being kind. You're being romantic about the whole situation.
Look at players we've sold on
from the academy.
From the academy, McGeehan, Corey Smith.
But again, if we're wanting to become a sustained Premier League club, and I love Cameron McGeehan with all my heart, Cameron McGeehan isn't going to be a Premier League footballer for me.
Yeah, but look at all of the opportunities that we've missed through giving these players a chance.
I think there is a romantic element when it comes to homegrown players that sometimes they're just not good enough.
We've been too far experienced this season. We have not given our guys enough of a chance. Jacob Murphy and Josh Murphy are a prime example of that.
But the Murphys, for me, are an exception because they have
Toffolo
always
should be here,
been
for example.
above their game.
Toffolo should be here, for example. Definitely.
Okay. Right, we've taken too long. Let us know in the comments. Would you keep Declan Rudd, basically? For me, yeah, he's a good goalkeeper, but not the stand we should be at. Defenders. I would get rid of
Well, I think it's easy to say the ones we'd keep.
Yeah, Pinto.
I'm going to let you
I'd love
answer
to
this.
keep hold of Dykes, but that's probably not going to happen.
Never.
So I'd keep hold of Pinto. I'd keep hold of Russell Martin. As just
well done, Jack.
Almost the player coach type thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be seeing him play every week.
That's a question coming up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What, have you seen it?
Yeah.
All right.
We won't answer it yet, though.
Okay, so I'd keep Russell Martin, but maybe not as a player, but kind of a player. Hold with me. I'll speak about it later. I would keep... I can't even think what defenders we've got. I think that's about it.
Whittaker?
No.
You can play him anywhere.
And rhythm is a dancer. No,
I'd
sell Witts, I'd sell Bennett, I'd sell Basson, I'd sell Turner. I'd almost pay someone to take Turner with my own money. I'd give them my life savings, my whole Norwich and Peterborough saving account to get rid of Michael Turner.
I'd rather keep Turner than Basson.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good debate.
Basson, though, is just... he's won them. How has he won a player of the season and Wes hasn't? Right, midfield, I would keep Dorrans, Howson.
All of them.
I'd get rid of Tete.
Oh, come on,
We've had
Jack.
this discussion before. I'd get rid of...
That's a load of rubbish. He's a squad player. He's a key squad player.
I don't want squad
players. Why don't you want squad players? Because he wants to be here. He cares about the club. He wants to go to the Premier League.
I want to be a Norwich City footballer, but I'm not good enough.
No, Tete's got the right attitude and he is staying here.
He's not good enough, Chris.
Jack, he's good enough for the Championship as a squad player.
I don't want squad players. I want players who are genuinely competing for the first team. I know Tete's in there because Dorrans has been injured.
We'll agree to disagree. Let's move on to the next question.
Okay, strikers. I'd get rid of Laughs. I'd also pay someone to take him with my own money. I'd keep Jerome. I'd keep Oliveira.
Hold him
for me, the attacking, as long we know we can score goals, we just can't defend. So completely tear out the defence. Make a few tweaks to the midfield.
Literally tear.
Yeah, and maybe one more striker. But I think Jerome and Oliveira have got 40 goals in them between them.
Can't complain, can you?
So that's that. Alex Batt, he's a Peterborough fan. Which one of our ex-players have you liked the most? Drury, McKenzie, Martin or Bennett? Such
a good question, and thanks for sending that in, and big respect to Peterborough for sending those players.
Yeah. Some four good players.
100% Adam Jury.
Yeah?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolute player.
I've got a lot...
dedicated, passionate, right attitude, trained hard, still works at the club.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what Norwich City is all about.
Adam Jury, top guy. Like I wasn't really lucky enough.
Did you go to his testimonial? Celtic?
I didn't, no.
Jack, you missed a killer game. Anyone that watches this video that went to the testimonial, give it a comment. But for me, one of the most special atmospheres that the football club has probably ever produced, well, in my time anyway, Celtic came down. I worked at the football club in the marketing department at the time, and all the Celtic fans were camping in the car park outside the Gerald stand, drinking at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And do you know what I mean? And the whole kind of standing and jumping and, facing back.
They took over Riverside as well, didn't they?
Yeah, and all that. And that is what football's all about. Yeah. Anyway, but Adam Jury.
Top guy. Leon McKenzie as well.
You can come on the podcast, Adam.
I've got a really, really big soft spot for McKenzie. One, because he was a great footballer. And two, I worked down at Ball Street a few years ago, over the summer basically, in between... I think I'd just finished school and I was going into sixth form, and I was lucky enough to get a job there. And one of my main roles, they were at the time, I don't think it ever got released, which is a shame, but they'd shot a documentary all about Leon McKenzie, because obviously he's gone into boxing now, and his story is unbelievable. And he
read his book.
He loves Norwich City.
Read his book.
He loves Norwich City. Top guy, been through real tough times, and now is killing it in the boxing front. And I really love Leon McKenzie.
Best Leon McKenzie moment. I know what you're going to say already.
Well, the obvious one would probably be United, wouldn't it?
Oh, United, shirt off, muscles, Hulk.
We almost don't have play because Leon McKenzie. I don't think anyone's going to say he was like one of Norwich's best ever players.
I remember at the time,
but there was something about him, and there's no players at the moment where I go like, I really love that player.
One of the sponsors was paying for half of his wages.
Really?
Yeah, because we couldn't afford him.
I love that. Can we get them sponsors on board here?
Unfortunately, sponsorship isn't the same anymore.
But yeah, Martin as well. Love him.
What?
Ross Martin. He used to be at Peterborough, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he did. Russ Martin, take a bow.
Yeah, love him.
Yeah, next.
Ryan Bennett. Ryan Bennett, the only real thing, obviously I do remember him, but the thing that sticks out for me, I used to have a paper round, and obviously I used to get up at like 6 o'clock every morning to do this paper round, and you're like, you know when you first wake up and you're kind of like squinting?
Yeah.
That was basically me on the whole paper round. It's very dangerous biking around like that. But whenever I used to pull, there was a few people
Especially
who
Great
had
Yarmouth.
No, I wasn't in Yarmouth at the time.
I was
in a small little village,
soul.
nice little village. Ormsby, love Ormsby. Used to pull the EDP out, and I always used to read the back pages, and I was like, Ryan Bennett, who's he? And then he progressed into a average footballer for Norwich City. But I can remember, I think it was probably on one of these videos, if you go like 3 years back, I said that Ryan Bennett would be a future England player.
And I actually said he had the capability of being the Norwich City captain.
What went wrong?
Did Lambert sign him? Lambert signed him.
Yeah, and then we loaned him back, didn't we, for a season? Or the rest of the season.
I don't know why, but he just didn't. I don't know.
I think we signed Bennett, I might be wrong, in the last Lambert season, and basically we loaned him back to Peterborough. That was part of the deal. And then we got him in when Houghton came, I think.
Houghton
out.
Houghtoned him.
Next. Jack also asked, what positions do you think we need to strengthen? We've answered that, so thank you. Jay at Forever Yellows. Who out of our current squad could you see being a future Norwich City manager?
Russell Martin.
Yeah.
Because I know he wants to be the future Norwich City manager.
Ready? No.
No, definitely not.
You know who I'd love to see as Norwich City manager? Pinto.
Oh my god!
How good would that be?
Imagine the passion.
I know.
It just pouring passion.
Just like an equaliser against Burton, he'd be running up to the fans on his knees.
Yeah,
come on!
It'd be like what's his name? Canio.
Yeah,
He would be literally like Canio. I'd love that. Pinto for gaffer.
You know what I'd love to see? Pinto as the manager. Mark Tierney and Grant Holt as assistants.
Always suited.
Yeah,
He's always suited.
He's always in Slaters, getting his latest suit.
Yeah.
Fitted by Simon Cheeseman.
Plug for Slaters.
Love it. Jay also asked, can you see Matt Jarvis's career lasting with us?
Yeah, I think he'll come back.
He's still here, Matt Jarvis?
Yep. I think people are picking bones a bit too much. I mean, obviously Jarvis has got injured.
Yeah.
Don't knock him while he's down, for God's sake.
Because can you remember that goal he scored against Bournemouth in the Prem?
Next season, he could be a key player for us.
And
he could. If he stays fit, he's got.
He's one of them players we've written off, and actually, on his day, is a hell of a player.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's that. Adam at Simply Matters, who I think used to be Neil Out. You know the guy who made the Neil Out account. Obviously, Neil left, and
that was Tim Pot.
Yeah, we like Adam though.
Yeah, we do like Adam.
He says Wagner in or Wagner out. Obviously, Huddersfield Wagner. Wagner in. You'd take Wagner?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Jack's tweet us again.
Good old Jack.
He said, what do you think about Danny Pacheco's tweet? Now, did you see Danny
Pacheco's
tweet? If you haven't seen it, I'll put it up on the screen now.
Why did we never sign Danny Pacheco back?
I loved him.
I absolutely adored the guy. Like, so good at football. That game against Ipswich, especially, he just
hell of a game.
He teared it up. I just love, do you reckon he's been fishing for a transfer as well?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you reckon?
Where is it? I think he's playing in the Spanish second division now.
Where is he playing? I read it today.
He's probably not good enough now, but
Getafe.
I want to search how old Danny Pacheco is, because I don't actually think he's that old.
He is such a good player.
Danny Pacheco.
The way he moved the ball, his touch, his passion, again, giving back to the fans.
Good knowledge.
Thank you, Jack.
Danny Pacheco is... How old do you think he is?
I reckon Danny Pacheco is now 29 years old.
29. Be good if my 3G worked. Talk. Wireless.
Drum roll. I'll get it up on my Wi-Fi.
Why is this not working?
Come on. Jack, you're going to have to fill space. Drum roll.
26. Danny Pacheco is 26 years old.
Now, comments below if you would sign Danny Pacheco.
I thought he was
next
41.
Season. We need players at this club that love the club, and he loves the club. Maybe I'm deluded. Maybe I've lost the plot. He was blooming good, and he would do a job as a squad player. But we don't want to sign squad players.
No, even if Danny Pacheco wasn't good, you should love him. It'd be just nice to have him here, just to see him just to see his face. Oh, I've just turned my phone off and I need to
Next question.
get more questions. By the way, are you surprised at how young Pacheco still is?
Not really, no. He's quite young.
A lot of people, yeah, true. You get a year older every year, don't you?
Yeah.
D-Jam asked pretty much the same question. We've had a lot of people ask who you'd want to sign in the summer. To be honest, I don't really know what exact players.
We did discuss last week, and we will bring up again, though, that whoever we sign, it might not necessarily need to be the most talented player on earth.
You know what some of the best players were? The ones that you don't know who they are when we sign them. They often go on to be the best players.
Pinto, classic example.
Grant Holt. Where's Houlihan? Do you know who Houlihan was before he came
No one knew who he was.
No, even like Tim Close, I didn't have a clue who he was.
And the new geezer has the sporting director, Weber, has a lot of eye. A lot of eye. He has a very good
big
eye.
Eyes.
He
eyes.
Has big eyes for talent.
Yeah. Which is great.
I believe he spotted Benekophobe.
He did. At Wolves. Capital Canaries. Do you think... Actually, I think I spotted Benekophobe before him. I went to see him for Norwich under-21s against Arsenal under-21s. He scored twice, and he was a very good player. I'm better than Stuart Webber. Capital Canaries. Do you think any Norwich players are good enough for England? The first team?
No.
Howson?
Do you know what? I did actually look at this tweet earlier, and I thought... Howson is the only one with a good chance.
But he's not good enough, is he?
But, no. No, he's not.
No.
I mean, he's kind of like Lallana. He'd never get ahead of Lallana. And by the way, Adam Lallana for England this year has been on one.
Yeah, Lallana's a good player.
Although he got me out of a really good bet, which I'm not happy with.
By the way, you bet him on Ladbrokes.
Of course,
yeah. We love Ladbrokes. Dan, which players would you like us to get rid of this summer? Now, we haven't got 4 hours to talk about what players we'd like to get rid of this summer.
What were the main...
Just get rid of the dead wood who are on big wages.
What are the main ones, though? Basong, Lafferty.
Yeah. Turner.
Poor old Turner.
Just a clear out. We haven't had like a massive clear out for ages. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be nice, isn't it?
It's going to be lovely.
I can't wait to see the new calendar.
And as well,
desktop calendar.
There'll be no one left. We'll be
like put like Delia. Win Jones in January. Won't
Stuart Webber. Stuart Webber will have October.
Ball boy.
You get around to like November the following year, and you're like, "Fuck, we've got no one left." Ball boys, yeah. Catering staff.
Yeah.
That would be lovely.
Reed,
Cameron, best
Norwich
home
City.
game. Yeah, stick me on there. What best home game and best away game this season, and why?
Now, we've got a fixture list because we can't remember.
That shows how good this season's been.
Yeah, but no, it does, doesn't it? It really does.
I'm really liking this watermelon.
Well, the best away game, I didn't go to it, but it's got to be Blackburn, first game of the season.
Great game.
Played them off the park.
So much hope.
So much hope and passion and positivity and atmosphere.
And it was a lovely sunny day as well.
It was. I was shopping at the time with the missus. Yeah, I know. I tell you what, Brighton and Hove Albion away was an absolute worldie of a game.
That was a stinker. An absolute stinker.
For me, best home game would be...
You know what?
I loved Derby because the guy that bought me this book is a Derby fan.
You weren't here for the Derby game at home.
Yeah, I know. I was driving back from Scotland.
Yeah,
Nottingham Forest at home.
Yeah, that was a good one. For me, I'm going to stick one out here. Aston Villa at home. Because that was at a stage of the season when Aston Villa, everyone thought
Brucey, yeah, I remember this.
And Oliveira scored that goal. The atmosphere was really good in that second half. Can you remember there was that massive rendition of "We Are the Yellow Army" for like 25 minutes?
Yeah, that was
which
nice,
was brilliant. And that was at a time when we thought actually
again the atmosphere was good.
We could maybe do something like this season, and we had like actual hope at that point. So that was a really nice game. And I think, what was the game after Aston Villa at home? Huddersfield away. No.
Isn't it sad that we've got a fixture list in front of us because we actually can't
so
highlight.
we had Aston Villa at home.
Yeah.
And we were basically like, actually, we could maybe do something. Then we had Huddersfield away. Huddersfield at home, we lost that. Reading away, we lost that. Brentford away, we drew. Derby at home we won, and then Rotherham away, which was the one that really
Burton away, what a game.
Yeah, but it's a shame there's been no real massive good away game. I mean, there's been a lot of good away atmospheres, but there's been no...
Next question.
Barnsley was good when we fell over the seats when... who scored that game? Oliveira, I think. That was good.
Next question.
else? Have we got any more? Are you going to Aston Villa away? I am.
No. Been there 3 times.
Amy's coming. She wanted to go to an away game this season. I said, really? Do you want to put yourself through the pain and the misery of Norwich away? And she was like, yes.
She said, yes, please, I want that.
So, that's the thing. Jake saying, should we keep Alan Irvine until the end of the season? We've already answered that. Tony Lloyd, now this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
What do you think was the turning point this season for us
Newcastle
going wrong?
100%.
Newcastle?
No, it's non-negotiable. There's no debate here.
I don't think
it was 100%. It was 100% Newcastle. The wheels came off the bus, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at
absolutely destroyed the players, the changing room, everything. That game impacted the players.
I don't know though, because Newcastle away, we then had Wolves away the next game, which we won. Rotherham at home, which we won. Fulham away, which threw that away, but still drew.
Yeah, but they absolutely carved it. Like, literally, they stabbed the knife in and they turned it. Honestly, Jack, that was the game. That was 100% the game.
The turning point for me was, I think, Leeds in the Cup. But if we're going to go for a league game...
That was a really bad game
as well. Yeah, that was
a
poor... And I think that might have been after the Newcastle game. I'm not too sure. For me, the league game, Leeds at home. Remember when we scored the 90th minute equaliser?
And that blooming idiot from Leeds two-footed the disabled woman.
You had so much hate from the Leeds fans that week when you slagged them off.
I'm sorry, but you what an idiot.
We've already touched on that point.
Yeah, sorry.
For me, it was either Brighton away, when we should have sacked Alex Neil.
Actually, that was bad.
Why we didn't sack Alex Neil then, I won't know. And then Leeds at home, which I think was possibly the week after or something. But yeah, to score the 90th minute equaliser and then still lose the game.
Just don't mention it.
It's horrible. Let's have a look what we've got.
This chocolate is so good.
I know, right? By the way, I like this tweet. Mm-hmm. You know when we tweeted about what was in the Flora tub and we got people to tweet us back? Someone tweeted, is everything Ed Balls knows about football? Bit harsh. But possibly true.
God. Poor old Ed Balls.
That's about it on the Twitter questions. So thanks for your Twitter questions.
No hate of the week this week. I've not had any abuse all week.
You've had no hate this week?
None at all.
You're doing something wrong.
Have I? I don't think I have.
No, I don't think you have, actually. The Rob Butler podcast went down really, really well.
Yeah, by the way, massive thanks to Rob for coming on. That was brilliant.
And also, I was going to say this earlier, if you've got any suggestions of anyone you want to come on the podcast, leave it in the comments section. Probably Norwich City related, that would help.
Ideally. If it, achievable.
Yeah,
obviously.
Achievable. Don't say, like, Ed Balls, because he's probably not going to come on.
Danny Pacheco. Don't say that. Danny Pacheco.
It's possible.
Could you imagine if Ed Balls rocked up at the studio and actually did the TNC podcast?
Class, isn't it?
The club should actually, integrate it a wee bit more.
We will get Ed Balls on this podcast one day. Clip it up.
You heard it here first. There you go.
Anyway, Aston Villa this weekend. We kind of already touched on it in the last
half-price tickets, of course.
Yeah. So we talked. If you missed what we said about that, go into the last podcast. But quickly, score prediction.
I think we will draw.
Yeah, me too.
And I think it'll be a cheeky little Desmond.
Oh, a little Desmond. I'm going for a little 1-1. I think our record at Villa Park is atrocious.
Yeah.
Villa have on some good form and got a pretty decent team.
But if we go one up, even by Norwich's standards...
We'll lose 2-1.
No, if we go one up, even by Norwich's standards, Aston Villa... The fans like to get on their team's back. Every time I've gone to Villa Park, they've booed and they've hissed and they've sworn.
What happens if we pull a cheeky little 1-0 out of the bag?
Yeah.
Little 1-0.
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday lose. So do Fulham. We're 2 points off the playoffs. Are you dreaming again?
But that is.
Are you dreaming?
No. Oh God.
Imagine if we did get the playoffs now. Just imagine.
The thing, right? I don't mean to be a negative Nancy, but even if we did get in the playoffs,
we wouldn't get through.
We would go out.
Do you know what the worst thing I think could happen now this season is if we were to get promoted?
Why?
Because we would be going into the Premier League next season with like 6 players.
It's kind of like we'd be going into the Premier League with like green and yellow flares. Like, look at us, we don't give to. Like, literally going for it.
It's always nice to have something to play for, but I genuinely don't think promotion would be a good idea now. for this season. I've said it before. I've gone over it. Anyway,
I need to sneeze.
You need to sneeze.
No, it's gone. No,
Right,
sneeze is gone.
yeah, I think we're going to round it off this week. Actually, one last thing. I'm going to have a look.
What about Moan of the Week and Hype of the Week?
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Right, quickly, go. Moan of the Week.
Moan of the Week, international football breaks.
Oh, no, I agree with that. Yep.
Useless.
Yep.
Hype of the Week?
Hype of the Week. Jacob Murphy! 3 weeks in a row.
My hype of the week is Delia Smith, because she inspired a nation to cook, and I think being able to cook is a beautiful thing. And her cookbook has sold 6 million copies.
Delia, if you're watching,
come on the podcast.
I mean, wow.
I tell you what would be the dream.
She did inspire a nation to cook, though.
Of course she did.
We don't really appreciate that, do we?
No.
She is an absolute babe.
Imagine, you know what my life goal is?
What?
Delia Smith to come around my house and cook me a meal.
I would actually quite like to just have a meal with Delia.
Or just like some afternoon tea.
And Winnie.
Yeah.
Jonesy.
Yeah.
Jonesy's just been outside for his fag.
Yeah, he's chain smoking outside.
And, it turns up and, you're just sitting at the table with Delia. Here's right. Your dream Norwich City dinner table.
Yeah.
Who's on it?
How many are we allowed?
How many? Let's say 6.
Ooh,
It's a big table.
And it's going to be a big bill. Who's paying? Delia.
TNC.
Right. Yeah, we'll put it on the expenses.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Who's on your table? 6.
So we pick 3 each.
I like that. Go on then.
Because we're at the head of each end of the table.
Maybe we don't need people.
We're at the head of each end of the table. You've got to stand up in the start to make a speech.
Okay.
And then when the main comes, I've got to make a speech.
Yeah.
And then in the dessert, we'll just have a little communal chat. But of course, we're chatting throughout the meal. So you pick 3 players who are going to be sitting on the left side. You're this end.
We're the left
I'll
side.
pick my 3 here.
Hang on,
and I'll be head of the table.
Am I on the left side on YouTube right now?
I don't know.
Anyway,
you go first.
What? So we'll go 1-1-1. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So first player, 100%.
It hasn't got to be players, by the way. It can be anyone.
Okay. Well, I'll say a player.
But they've got to be Norwich City related.
Yeah. Former Norwich player, Dion Dublin.
Yeah. Dion's there.
Absolute character. I believe
He'll probably bring his Jew
yeah,
as well.
Plays the Jew.
Yeah.
There you go. Another plug.
There's some.
So there's
some
your entertainment.
Yeah,
exactly. And just an all-round blooming nice guy.
So Dion's there.
Big Dion.
Dion, is he sitting next to you or kind of
Big
away
D.
from you? Big D. We love Big D.
Dion is he's kind of he's like one along.
He's one in. For me, Mark Tierney.
Oh my God.
Nah, Mad Mark. We're bringing him along.
on.
Dion's playing his doob.
He's the
Mark
kind of-
Tierney's doing the cartwheels. You get to pick who you want. I'm having Mark there. Inspired a nation to cartwheel, that man.
He's the kind of guy that you go to. He's like your family member that you don't actually really want to speak to.
No, Mark is gonna be there.
All right, okay, fine. Mark Tierney's there. Who's got to be there? By the way, is Winnie there? Is Jonesy there?
Well, if he gets an
What about
invite. This is invite only.
What about nephew Tom?
This is invite only, Chris.
Nephew Tom can be the waiter.
Yeah, okay.
Nephew Tom was the waiter. Yeah. Or that Stefan geezer.
We'll talk about what we're eating at the end. What food we're going to.
We need to hurry up with this.
Yeah. This is an important.
You
thing,
go.
You go. I've just said you go. Anyone Norwich City related?
You go. Come on. I can't
Delia.
think. Oh, your Delia's obviously there.
Well, maybe not.
What? This is all from Delia's cookbook.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean she's necessarily.
She is 100% there, and she's on the table.
Yeah, Delia's there, but that is one of the invites, I'm afraid. So I've only got one left.
I tell you who I'd have on there. Terry Alcock.
Yeah.
Norwich City's all-time top goal scorer.
Nice.
Full of stories.
Full of
from back in the day.
Story. Last one.
For you?
For me, yeah, last invite. So we've got Delia, we've got Dion Dublin,
yeah.
We've got Terry Alcock,
yeah.
And we've got Mad Mark.
Matt, really?
Yes.
I can't believe Mad Mark's made it.
Mad Mark is there. Right, final one. I know who I'm going to bring. Ewan Roberts.
Yeah.
Now, I love Ewan Roberts' accent. I think it could...
He's always in the Barbers, Esquire.
Well, this is the thing.
Another plug.
He could give me some grooming tips, possibly tell me how to grow more facial hair.
Yeah.
Struggling with it. But it's his accent. You know what? You've had your
You bring
3-course
something
meal.
different, yeah.
You've had your 3-course meal. You've had a couple of coffees, and you're suddenly buzzing with caffeine.
Oh, I've got mine.
He can calm
I've
you
got
down.
my last guest.
Ewan Roberts, you got an invite, mate.
Okay, I've got my last guest. Paul McVeigh.
Mac is there. Is he?
Yeah, he's there, and I'll tell you why he's there. Positivity and
He'll be at the end.
Yeah.
It's not about the post.
no, he'll stand up and he'll do a public.
He'll
speech.
be the after dinner
Yeah,
speaker.
exactly. See, Paul's there doing the after dinner
We've
speech.
got Dion playing the dude.
Yeah,
We've
Paul's
got
doing a
Man
motivational
Mark.
speech.
We've got
Delia's-
nephew Tom with Delia.
Delia's had too many whiskies, and then me and you are just rocking it.
Oh,
There you go. What a nice end to the TNC podcast.
Delia, Mad Mark, Dion, Ewan, Macca, and Terry Alcock. If you're watching,
Who would you
we
have on
can
your
actually
table?
set this up. If you want to come for dinner, I'll pay for it.
Who would you have on your table? Comments below,
Yeah,
please.
6 invites. You're allowed yourself and 1 friend or family member.
Can we get a hashtag going for this?
Hashtag,
TNC dinner party.
yeah, hashtag TNC dinner party with 6 guests that you would like to see.
Yeah.
And yeah. You need...
Oh, hang on. Pinto. Where's he?
Oh,
or maybe Pinto should be the
No. Pinto.
Serves the ice cream?
No, he's making paella. Pinto, he's got a massive paella dish as big as this table.
Not sure about
Nephew Tom is scooping it out. Pinto's there.
Silver serving.
No, I'm not going with silver service. And Pinto, you know what Pinto's doing? He's just having a good time. He would be great friends with Macca. Loves positivity.
Yeah, true.
And Macca's good at
do
social media as well, isn't he? So he
is.
could have some kind of like social media discussion
I'm
with
quite good
Pinto.
at, digital marketing,
It's your trade, isn't it?
Digital boss. Another plug.
Anyway, big thanks for listening. That was good fun. Let us know what you guys think about the podcast. Listen on iTunes, subscribe on iTunes. You can links to all them in the description. And if you've watched this all the way through, good effort. Because it's over an hour long, I think. Yeah,
Go
58
on.
minutes. Good effort on that one. We will see you next week for another TNC podcast. And a big thanks for staying subscribed and everything. Nice work.
Peace out.
Once upon a time, a fairy tale like